We are back. Thanks for staying with us. Joined in studio now by Riggs Eckelberry. Riggs, of course, is the CEO of OriginClear Incorporated. OCL is their stock symbol. Riggs, always a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you, sir.
Now, you guys put out a 10K this week. Some juicy details. Can you share with us?
Yes, and remember we put out guidance that basically our revenues had increased year over year
Right.
by about 38%, and that in fact is borne out by the fact we were up from about 3.3 million in 2017 to about 4.6. That was a 38% increase. Now, cost of sales, actually, we had a 6% improvement in margins, which is great. So margins, gross margins are improving, and that was also expected. And we've also reduced a number of expenses, and the overall. Now, we're still running a loss, and that's really where Modular Water Systems is not really reflected here.
Okay.
Because of how recognized revenue occurs when it's finally commissioned in the ground and really signed off, and that's when you can count it. Only about $100,000 of modular water was counted last year.
Okay.
That is going to be the big difference in 2019. So what we have here is roughly $1 million in loss per quarter, which we can start to overtake by two things. Number one, much more sales. Number two, much better margin. I was talking to you about how we're connecting our Chinese operation with our Texas and Virginia operations, and to dramatically improve the margins.
Okay.
Gross margins for progressive water are only about 20%. They need to be more like 40 or 50%. Okay. So that's going to be a major, major difference. In addition, there is a non-cash item, which, because I don't want your viewers to be surprised, that is a number that is one of these magical numbers. But it's about a $7 million number that relates to some debt we've had for a long time on the books that we plan to deal with, because these are our backers. Okay. These note holders are a group that has backed us from day one, and they are working with us. So don't want to discount it. It does show as a loss, but it is a non-cash or derivative loss. So overall picture is we grew in 2018 over 2017, and we managed to absorb. It cost us money. That's where those losses. Of course. We managed to absorb modular water, and that 6-month period of developing sales was what we have now gotten into, where, because we started at the mid-year, 6 months of the 2018 was the cost of modular water. Now we're really starting to crank the revenues. So what we hope to have soon is an idea of what kind of forecast we can get, and that's where we're really drilling down on what is a really big number for modular water in terms of potential business versus what we're going to actually get, again, as machines in the ground signed off by the end of this year. But I believe it's going to be a very strong year for us.
Well, as CEO, the trends are working in the directions that you're hoping to see them proliferate, and you've got to be encouraged with what's going on.
I'm encouraged because Progressive Water continues to do a great job. These guys in Texas are fantastic, and they're really the platform that we can overlay this very sexy modular water prefab systems concept with 25 people in McKinney, Texas, who do fabulous work. So we've got that depth of bench, and then of course we've got the international network being pulled in.
Disrupting the water industry, OriginClear, OCL is their stock symbol. Always a pleasure, Riggs. Thanks again, and congratulations on these numbers.
Thank you, Don.